Welcome back. I'm really happy to have you here because today we're going to learn how to use the mesh tool, the one that I'm just selecting. For doing this, what do we need to do? Let's go to File, then select Place. Select the image that we're going to use. We're going to use a pepper. You can find the file just below the video. Place and press Shift because you want to keep the proportion and the quality. Okay? Now we need to use the Layers window. Just a reminder, layers are going to help us to keep everything organized. If you click the eye, you're going to make it not visible, okay? If you click to the right, it's going to be locked. Remember that the one that we have right now is going to tell us what objects do we have. You can name it. I suggest that you can do it. Double click it, please, and write down the name, because this is going to remind us how we organize our elements each time we're making a drawing. I'm going to lock it because I don't want it to be moving, Now you can add in two ways layers, right here in the corner and just below, just the one that we have right here. In my case, I prefer adding by clicking just below. And you see right now that I have the new layer that is in red. And what are we going to do? We're going to use the eyedropper and the rectangle. The first thing is to select the eyedropper, click one area of the green pepper. Okay, this is the eyedropper. The shortcut is I, because in the future probably you're going to use it. That's why I'm making like this stop in the explanation. Mesh tool is going to be a grid, and we're going to be combining eyedrop and direct selection tool. For adapting a figure, you're going to use the direct selection in combination with a shape. The following step is going to be sure that we're on layer number 2. We're going to select the rectangle. We're going to adapt it to one area of the pepper. We're going to divide in areas the pepper, okay? Because it's going to be easier for us to get the drawing. Let's get to the layers window. Press Command or Control to the eye. It's going to be invisible, but it's not going to be like the other way, like not visible. It's different. You're going to be able to see the shape. As you can see in my artboard, I am able to see the shape of the rectangle, okay? You can see it. When you press and don't have the eye, you're not able to see it. We're going to select the mesh tool. We're going to click right in the middle, and we're going to have these lines, an horizontal and vertical line. Let's go to the direct selection tool. We're going to click each corner, and we're going to start adapting every anchor using the handles, just the way that I'm doing right now. As you can see, I am adapting the shape of the rectangle to the shape of the pepper. If you need to get closer, because you need to have real manage of all the anchors and handles, because we want to adapt it to the shape that I selected. You can divide the pepper like in 6 or 7 layers. I'm going to show you at the end the one that I just made before doing the video, okay? So we have this one. I'm adapting again. If you get closer, it's going to be more perfect. And of course, you're a professional. You need to do it perfectly. So I am adapting it. You can move the handles. We already know how to do this. I mean, the past videos we have been doing this like since the beginning of the semester, right? So I'm going to adapt this one too. I'm going to the bottom. If you believe that the path is not exactly too perfect, don't worry. Remember that you can still adapt it and transform it. That's like the benefit of using the direct selection tool. Okay, here I'm going to move maybe this one. Yes. I'm going up. I'm going to adapt this one. Perfect. Maybe this one goes right here. And I'm going to move the handle a little bit more. Okay, I believe that it's already, like this is already, it's okay. So I'm going to press Command or Control, and you can see that it's green, but it's not any longer a rectangle. it has the shape of the pepper. I'm going to press Command or Control again on the Layers window. I'm going to get closer because I want you to find out what I'm doing. I'm going to select the Mesh tool. Mesh tool is going to divide me the area that I already decided. If I click a vertical line with the Mesh tool, I'm going to have as a result horizontal lines like this. You see? I have to click the line to get these lines or grid. If I click here and I click and again, I'm going to have, if I click horizontal, I'm going to have vertical. If I click vertical, I'm going to have horizontal, okay? So depending on where do I have the lights, for example, like this, where do I have the shadows, like this, I'm going to define the grid. I'm going to place the lines that I consider necessarily for this exercise. If you put a lot of lines, well, you're going to have a more realistic illustration. But consider the time, and you're going to find out why. Let me place another one here because there is a lot of light. Here you have another tone. You have to define the grid depending on the shadows, lights, and the common color. For example, right here, I'm going to add another one and another one here. The more specific, the more grid you have or mesh, the result is going to be better. But your time, you have to consider always your time. And of course, depending on the shape and the figure that you're trying to do as a hyper-realistic illustration, okay? Well, I already have this one. Now we're going to use the combination of the Direct Selection tool and the Eyedropper. Why? Because we're going to select one point with A is the shortcut, and I, A, E. So the first thing is to select one point of my mesh, wherever I want to. I'm going to get closer so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to select one point with Direct Selection tool. It can be at the top, in the middle. I'm still trying to decide where I'm going to do it. I'm going to start from left to the right. So I'm going to select this one, A. Then I'm going to select I, E, in Spanish, is going to be the eyedropper, A, E. And I'm going to select all the dots that I have on this mesh. So I'm going A, E, or in English, A, E, I, A, I. So I'm going A, I, A, I. Why I'm doing this? Probably you're going to say, Brenda, she doesn't know what she's doing. Well, you'll see the result in just a few seconds. Let's go again. AI, click again, I, Direct Selection, Eyedropper, Direct Selection, Eyedropper, Direct Selection, Eyedropper. Sometimes it's really hard to do these videos, you have no idea, because it's like, my voice. There it goes. Well, by now, if you click Command or Control to the eye that you have in your layers, you're going to have something. Ta-da! Let me deselect it so you can see what's going on. It's creating volume. It's different from blend or gradient because it's adapting to the figure or photograph that I have at the bottom. So I'm going to click again Control or Command, depending if you have a PC or a Mac. And I'm going to continue in another area. Let's see, maybe this one because it has a lot of light. Again, I'm going to select it with Direct Selection tool, Eyedropper, Direct Selection tool, Eyedropper. The color that you're supposed to select has to be closer to the area that you want to represent. So in this case, for example, I am selecting light green because I want to show the light that the pepper has, right? Okay, Direct Selection, Eyedropper, Direct Selection, Eyedropper. Oof, can't wait to see the result. Let's see. Let's go to the layer window again. Press Control or Command. Woohoo! and we have here the result. It looks different. I mean, I know that you can use the gradient, the new tool that we have on gradient, but this looks more real. It looks more realistic, and at the end is going to give a new proposition to your portfolio at the end of the semester. So I'm going to press again Control and Command, or Command if you have a Mac. And let's do this area, the one that has a lot of light right here at the corner, because it's not exactly light green, it looks like more gray, right? So I'm going to select with direct selection, and I'm going to the bottom, so you can see the difference that we can do against the other side of the pepper, the one that is darker at the left. Let's go. Let's see. There it goes. So maybe you need to add sometimes extra lines for the mesh tool, sometimes not. But the most important thing is to find out how is everything, incomplete. For example, right now, I've just seen that there is a big mistake right here. Oh my God. But I made it intentionally because we're going to know how to correct it. We're going to select the direct selection tool. Remember that we have used this in the past. We're going to use the pen tool. The anchor point tool, when we click it, we're going to be able to have two handles. In case you say, oh my God, it's moving wherever it wants to go, don't panic. You can adapt it. You can move the handle to the right position that you prefer and transform this area that is not still a little bit is rough, it's not too smooth. Let's see. The good thing is that it's going to change when you already have the other area of the pepper. And this is how the mesh tool is used. It's easy. Yes, it is. You have seen it. Right now I'm pressing Command Y or Control Y if you have a PC. You're going to see that there is a grid, a special grid that is adapted to a specific shape. Okay? The rectangle that you see is when the computer or the software is telling you that you have an image, because you're not able even to see the image. I'm pressing Control Y or Command Y, and here I have the shape. Now, I know with the magic of video, I have done this before. I've done this exercise. Let me tell you, where is it? So I started by dividing it into different layers. As you can see, I have many layers in my layer window. So this is the picture, the one that you're going to use. And I'm going to just make it invisible right now so you can see all the parts that I made for this result, because it looks natural, right? It looks like a picture. So this is one area, the other one. I even move the layers depending on the position that I need it, okay? And here you go. And here you have my pepper. It looks like a picture, but it was made with an illustration. Each part was located in a different layer, as you can see right now. Everything is in a layer. And it took me around 30 minutes, more or less. Maybe because this is your first time, it's going to take you 1 to 2 hours, okay? But at the end of the semester, I promise you that you're going to be such an expert and you're going to say, whoa, I never thought I was going to be able to do this. Well, take care and do the practice. Bye.